Welcome to Tech with Damir. In this video, we are going to learn how to create SSIS IR with the MSDB Package Store. So we will be storing our SSIS packages on the MSDB. That's going to be package deployment. This is something in the old days we had been doing that, but now we are deploying SSIS packages on the SSIS DB. But there is a feature that does give us option to store our SSIS packages on MSDB. So we are going to explore this. This can be part of lift and shift your SSIS packages to the Azure. Okay, so you're going to learn a lot of stuff here and see right there. So we have everything written down. What you are going to learn, you're going to learn how to create the VNets. Okay, then you're going to learn how to create the subnets. Then we will create the subnet for your MI managed instance. Then we will create a subnet for our remote desktop. Then we will also learn how to create the subnet for ADF, and then we'll create a managed instance. Once we create the managed instance, we need to connect to that managed instance. We need some VM where we can install our SSMS. So that's what we are going to do here, and then we are also going to install Visual Studio with SSIS, so we can create our SSIS package and deploy it to the MSDB on the managed instance. Okay, then we will be connecting to the managed instance from the VM by using SSMS. And then what we are going to do, we are going to create some package that will read the data from source, deploy to the, and write to the destination. Then we will be creating SSIS IR, and by using the VNET and Package Store, we will be using as MSDB. So we will explain that part there. And then finally, we will be executing our SSIS package to the MSDB once we deploy it, and then we will create a pipeline and call the package and use SSIS IR to execute it. So tons of stuff. Once you go through all that, you are going to learn very, very good stuff and concepts. So I will suggest you watch all the way. And let's start. So first of all, we need to create a VNet. So I'm going to name this one Tech Brazil VNet. I'm going to keep copying the name exactly so we would remember that, so we don't make mistakes. And here on the Azure portal, I do not have a whole lot. I have my subscription, then I have my resource group. Let's click on the resource group. And first of all, we are going to look for virtual networks. Okay, so we click right there. Going to go ahead and create a new virtual network. Select your subscription, select your resource group, and here is the name. So Tech Brazil VNet is the name. It's available. So we are all good. We are not going to care about the IP and all that. So it's going to let it select automatically. So starting with 10 or some 10.0.0.0. So default IP is going to be like this. No changes at all. So we are going to hit create, and we should be good here. Our VNet will be created, and now let's go back to our notes and take a look. The second part is we are going to create 3 subnets. One is going to be for our MI and managed instance. Second is going to be for our RDP. Third is ADF. So let's go back to the portal again. Our resources are ready. So click right there. So that means our VNet is ready right there. So you can see right there. Okay. So if you want to go to the subnets here, you can see a few things here. The DNS and all that is going to be everything is default. I'm not going to be worried about that. I'm going to go to subnets here, and in the subnets you see that already there is a default, but I'm going to create 3 more. So one is going to be MI managed instance, Tech Brazil VNet and subnet, and then call the name MI. Okay, so this is good. Go ahead and create it. Now I'm going to go with the next one. So let's create the next one, and next one is going to be RDP, remote desktop. So that we'll use in the creating our VM. Hit save, and then we'll go for the last one. That's called ADF. So paste it there, and then ADF, Azure Data Factory. Okay, so all good. Next step, we are done till here. That went pretty, kind of parallel. And now what we can do, we can create a managed SQL instance because our VNet is ready and our subnet is ready. So we can go ahead and create the managed instance. A managed instance take 4 to 6 hours even to just create. So I'm not worried about that. So I'm going to just start creating and let it go. And while I will do all those steps and then come in morning and worry about that. So you can see our subnets are created. This is with 2, this is with 2, sorry, 1, 2, and 3. So we are all good here. Now let's go to the on top of that, so managed SQL instance. So if you write there SQL managed instance, okay. Now what we are going to do, we are going to give some nice name to this guy. Okay, what name we should give? So first of all, a resource group you need to select here, Tech Brothers resource group. Okay, enter the managed instance name. I'm going to call it Tech Brothers MI. Okay, how about that? Let's see if it is available. It is available. So I'm going to write it down because I would need it. And also I'm gonna, this guy is here and username is TB user. Password, I'm going to call it Ashazad 12345 and $123. Okay, that's what I'm going to give it because it does complain about long names and usernames and passwords. So I need to do that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do it. US, East US, I don't care about 2. So I'm going to just go East US. Let's see what we have here, East US. Okay, now let's go here, configuration, managed instance. I do not need 256, 8 cores and all that. So I'm going to go with the basic. So let me go to the right here and see right there. And see, I have still, I will be paying $754 per month. So, but I love you guys and I want to do this demo for you. So I'm going to pay some money. I believe it is only $40, $50 by the end of this demo, but let it go. It's all right. So now what we are going to do, we are going to go and provide the TB user password I had copied, and second I'm just going to paste it. Okay, so we are good here, but do not just go ahead and create it because last time I did it and it's pretty hard. I don't know if you can go and change the VNet and subnetting and all that on the managed instance, but I'm gonna not make any mistakes. So I'm gonna go to networking here, and here it's asking me virtual network subnet. So in my case, I'm gonna go ahead and say Tech Brothers MI. Okay, so that's the one we would like to give. See right there, virtual network Tech Brothers VNet / Tech Brothers VNet subnet MI. That's what I would like to give it to it. Okay, this one we can leave this one as it is for now, and that's fine. Public endpoint disable. We'll worry about that this later. Okay, security, no changes. We are not going to make any change here, and we are going to hit create. Now $754. And what we are going to do, review it. Yes, the subscription name and the US, this is good. That's my VNet. That's a more important things than anything else. And I'm going to go ahead and create. Now this is going to take some time. Let it run for 4 to 6 hours and we will come back to it. So as of now, it's initializing deployment. Once it's done, I'm going to move forward with the next steps. Okay, our deployment is in progress, and if I click right there, it shows all those steps what it's going to take, but I'm not worried and going to spend time here. So let's go back to the home, and now what we are going to do, we are going to go to the next step. We are going to create a VM. In this case, I'm going to call this one Tech Brothers VM. Okay, so we would know the name of it, and same username and password I will use. So let's copy this. Let's go to the right here, virtual machine, and now I need to create a virtual machine. Let's create a virtual machine, new virtual machine, and I am going to create use the same subscription. It's loading my resource group. I don't know why it's taking forever here. Okay, so resource group Tech Brothers is good. The machine name is this one. And now what we are going to do, ECUS is fine. I can do multiple things. I can go with the SQL Server 2016 data center, or if I would like to go with the more latest, I can choose. I don't know if that's going to make any difference in my case, but I'm going to go with the 2016 is fine with me. Okay, so I click right here, recommended. 1 CPU, 3.5 GP. Yeah, that's fine. I don't care really, because I don't want to pay a whole lot of money for this one. TP user. And now what we are going to do, we are going to use the password. Okay, so same password right there and right there. Okay, so we are all good here. Let's not worry about that. We might need to play with this one once we connect 3389, that support for remote desktop disks. We are gonna go with the basic standard encryption. I'm not worried. So go to networking, that's important. We are going to select a virtual network. Tech versus VNet is fine. And here, if you guys know that, we have created a separate subnet for this guy. So subnet called RDP. So we are going to choose that one. And then for public, we leave this as it is. Okay. So we are going to go ahead and create this virtual machine. Should be okay. Whatever money I have to pay, the only we can do that. Virtual machines are created pretty fast as compared to the this guy, where you have this managed instance that take forever. So our VM is ready. Let's go to the resource here, and then we are gonna connect to it, and it's running right now. That's the Windows 2016, and this is public IP and all that. So you can see right there. I'm gonna hit to connect and do RDP. So now what we will do, we will download RDP file, double click here, and it's going to open this guy. It's going to ask you, hey, you want to connect to remote? Yes, we do. What is your username? My username is Tech Brothers user, and it's Asiazad12345 $, 123 again. Strong password. Now, according to our next steps, what we need to do, we need to install Visual Studio 2019 on this, and we are going to install SSMS and then also SSIS. So there are certain things which we are going to do. If you know how to do that, you can ignore this one. And in this video, what I'm going to do, I'm going to also put those timelines there where you can kind of see that what part is starting from where. So that will help, The very first thing I would like to do on this machine, I would like to go to the local server, and then I would like to go to the IE Enhanced Security Configuration. Click on Unknown. It's going to be, and hit OK, save, because I don't want those all those ugly messages coming back to me. I mean, even they're important, I don't know, but I don't want them. So I just went here, and then I set to off, and I hit OK. Now, first thing I would like to do here, I would like to download the Google Chrome. Switch to the Chrome for Windows. Download Chrome, and then accept and install. Now our Google Chrome is ready. Let's get started. And now what we are going to do, we are going to go to google.com and then say download Visual Studio 2019. That's what I'm going to do. And it should bring me community version. I'm going to download. Click download Visual Studio, go to the show folder, right click, and run as the administrator. So this should install Visual Studio 2019 community version. That's what we need to create our SSIS packages. I'm also going to download one more thing. I'm going to download the SSMS. I should look for SSMS only, this guy. So it's going to download the SSMS. And meanwhile, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the install Visual Studio parallel, and this is downloading our SSMS on the background. Our Visual Studio installer is downloaded and installed. Now it's going to work on the actual installation, and that's going to take some time, but it is okay. Now you are going to select here data storage and processing. Click right there, and now it's going to show you some options there: SQL Server Data Tools, Azure Data Lake, and the Stream and Analytics tool, .NET Framework, and all that. So let's go ahead and install. The downloading is going pretty fast. So finally, our Visual Studio installation is completing. It's 99% done. We are waiting up for this, and then we'll see what other steps we need to do. It is starting Visual Studio. Now what we are going to do, we are going to click continue with the out code, and then it should open Visual Studio project. Let's go to the file and try to open that. Go to new and project. Now if I will try to open integration services project, I don't have that there. So what we have to do, we have to install that. So let me look for integration here, and if it let me type integration. So if I do that, it's not gonna be able to find it. Yep, it's not finding it. So what I have to do here, I have to go to the extensions and manage extensions, and there I'm gonna look for online right there. So I'm gonna search for integration, and we found it right there. So let's download integration services, Google Chrome, yes, and it's gonna download right there. Let's go to the folder. Okay, it's right there installed, sorry, downloaded. Now we can right click here and run as admin. Meanwhile, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and close Visual Studio and all other items, so because I don't really need it. Let's close this guy, close this, and just let the installation keep going. Hit next. Yes. Okay, see, it is asking us close everything. So I'm going to close actually everything. And then okay, install. So our integration services project is installed. Let's close it, and now we should be good to go and start our Visual Studio and create a project for SSIS. Let's find it as Visual Studio 2019 here, and then what we are going to do, we are going to create a new project. Meanwhile, what I'm going to do on top of it, let's go to download and install installation SSMS as well. Right click and run as admin. Once you start installation of SQL Server Managed Studio, it doesn't take a whole lot. So just you have to say install and it should start working. So we are not worried about like, oh, I have to hit next and all that kind of things, you know. So here what we are going to go continue without code, and now we should be able to go to the new, file, new project, and look for integration services, integration, and right there it should find this time, and we should be able to create a project of integration services right there. Next, you can have any name what you want, and I'm gonna leave this one as it is. Create. Our project is ready, and what we can do now we can actually convert this project to the package level. So right click here, and once convert to the package deployment model, because what we are going to do, we are going to deploy these packages to the MSDB. So there is no really SSIS DB projects and all those kind of things. So our first package is ready. What I would like to do here, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to keep this guy as it is without any connection manager or anything. So this package I will use even just for the deployment or just for the test purpose. I'm going to call this package pkg underscore data flow. So, and then the next package what we will do, we will create with the source and destination and all that. So this is package deployment model right there. Right click, execute package, and it should be good. Okay, the package completed successfully. Let's stop it, and now what we are going to do here, we are going to save this. Meanwhile, let's go take a look on SSMS. It's almost installation is completed. Now, still we can't do much here because my managed instance is not ready. So as I told you, it take like 3 to 4 hours just to even get the managed instance ready. So we can go back and take a look. Meanwhile, our SSMS is being installed. So go right there. Now we go right here. Go to the it's still provisioning, so it's not running. Yes, it is still in the process of being creating. So managed instance create operation is in progress, and we can use that later. Okay, so you have one ongoing operation. The managed instance has some ongoing recent operation. Click here to view. Let's view that what it has. Okay, so this is all the like memory, CPU. What do you have? What type of all those options what we have there. It has selected. You can cancel this operation, but we are not here to cancel. we are here to keep this going. So you can see right there this is running, and it's going to take some time. 41 minute has gone, so it's still in progress. So I told you it take like 3 to 4 hours, but I don't know, I thought maybe Microsoft has done something really good, like, oh, let me create your managed instance in less than 30 minutes. So but it's not. Anyways, so we are going to go back to our uh, VM, and we have installed SSMS as well. Now let me open the SSMS. I'm going to go right there, and now I'm going to find SSMS right there. Okay, so we have SQL Server Management Studio. Once our managed instance will be installed, what we will do, that's where we are going to connect with our managed instance by using the SSMS, and then we are going to create a second package, and that's where our actual work is going to start. So let's wait for our managed instance to be ready. Our managed instance has been created, and you can see that your deployment is complete. We can go to resource and take a look here. The managed instance is online, you can see right there, and that's the host name. So what we can do, we can copy this guy and then go to our copy it, and then we can go to our remote desktop where we have SSMS installed. Now I'm gonna go ahead and provide the name here. Then I'm gonna go to the username, TP user, and that's my password. So we are connecting to manage instance. That's great. We are going to create a couple of databases here, and then from there we are going to create our first SSIS package here. So let's open a new query, and I'm going to create a art database called, let me see if I can make this big. Yes, I can. Create database, and I'm going to call this a source. Okay, then another database I'm going to create database, and I'm going to call that the destination. Okay, so these databases should be created, and meanwhile these are being in process. I'm going to open a new query and create a table. So create table review customer, and in this table ID integer, name, and comments. So maybe also we have a get date, let's say get date only, sorry, load date. Okay, and that's going to default get date. Okay, so we create this table, and now what we are going to do, we are going to name varchar. Date time. So let's see, database has been completed, and this table what I'm going to create, I'm going to create in source. Okay, so CRCE and use source. Okay, so you can see that the database has been changed their scope. So now a table will be created, and what we will do, we'll insert into db.customer, and our values are gonna be ID1, name Amir, and then load date, we can just leave this as blank. So that is it. Okay, so I have to tell it here. Okay, all good. Customer. Okay, so this data is inserted here. I will do this insert another record later. So just for testing right now we have one record. Same table, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create this table in destination. So we call it destination, and in the destination I'm not going to have a default date or anything like that. I'm just going to have a date time. So we will load the data from the source table. Now let's go ahead and create our SSIS package, and that's the name of our server. We are going to copy this guy, and then here we create a package. So let's right click here, new SSIS package, and I'm going to say pkg load source. Okay, now here yes to all, fine. And now what I need a data flow. Inside the data flow, what I need OLEDB source. So I can use OLEDB source here, and then I can use the OLEDB destination in the destination. Yeah. So right there, go to the OLEDB source, and here we will be creating a new connection. So new connection, and in new connection we will be providing the name of the server. So that's our server name. It's going to be Windows Authentication, sorry, SQL Authentication, TB user. And we will select the source database. Test connection looks good. Now hit OK, hit OK. And we can see the tables, and there is only one table customer. Go to columns, so we can see the columns. And now we are going to connect our source to the destination. So this is going to load the data to the destination database. So we are going to create a new connection, and this guy we have to provide the database name destination. So TB user, and the DB name is the destination. Okay, so we selected that. Test connection looks good. Hit OK, hit OK. And our destination is also the table name is this customer. So you can see it is mapped correctly. Now this is our source, and this is our destination. So see right there, I can just go ahead and rename it, and I'm going to rename this to source, so you remember that. Then this is our destination. Okay, so let's rename this as well. Now one more thing I want to do, instead of later I will be keep providing the parameter passwords and all that. What I will do, I will go ahead and create a variable here, and then just provide the value to that variable for the password. So I'm gonna go ahead and say password here, and then use that in the connection string. So it's going to be in string type. So it was 234 $, that's my password. Okay, so now what we can do, we can go in this let me see, let me move this one a little down. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this password in the expressions in connection manager. So I'm gonna go to properties here, and go to expression here, and right click there, go to the password here, and say username and password. So here in the password, I'm going to use the variable. So by doing that, I don't have to make any changes in the connections and provide password and all those kind of things. So I don't have to worry about that. So that will help. I mean, you can there is an option to provide that values in the even SSIS IR when you create the pipeline, and you can provide the password and all that. But in my case, I'm just want to be, put the values here, so I can spend some time on testing instead of keep providing the passwords. Okay, so we can go ahead and run this package, and it should read the data from our source and load to destination. So if we go to the destination right now, and let's cancel this out, and see right there, this was a table we created, and we can select the data. So now you see that data is loaded. I'm gonna go ahead and delete this data, and then we will reload from the MSDB once we deploy that. Okay, so we are gonna delete. Fine, our package is ready. We are all set here. Now what we can do, there is no way. Let's see right here. If you will go ahead and say, let's copy this guy, right? In old times, when you go and integration services are installed on a SQL Server, what you did, you just went here and said that integration services and provide the name of that SQL instance, and it open a MSDB, and then you can create folders and all that. So then from there you can deploy your SSIS packages. But in a managed instance, there is nothing like that. Integration services are not installed here anywhere because it was just a SQL instance that's given to you. So if you try to connect from here, it's going to throw you this error. So failed will error, the RPC server is unavailable, but this has nothing to do with because there is no integration services attached to the managed instance. So don't worry about that. Don't try to even connect from here. That's not going to work. So first of all, we have to create SSIS IR, and then we are going to come back here, and then we will connect from Azure SSIS integration runtime. That's where it will show us the MSDB, and then we'll be able to create the folders and everything and then deploy our packages. So let's go ahead and work on SSIS IR configuration now. So I am here in the Microsoft Azure portal, and now what we need to do, first of all, we need the Azure Data Factory. So what we are going to go ahead and create Azure Data Factory here. Create. That step actually I missed in the documents there. I will just write it there too. So it's going to be East US as well, and name is Tech Brothers ADF. So that's what we will create. Most of the time I create these resources, and then what I do, I drop them because of the billing issue. I pay like $200 to $300 every month for creating these tutorials. So ADF is in deployment mode right now. It's going to be created soon. Our ADF is created, and now what we are going to do, we are going to go to the Open Data Factory Studio here, and then we'll be creating our SSIS IR. Why do we need SSIS IR? Because we want to run our packages which will be deployed in the MSDB on the managed instance. Okay, so go to manage here, and as of now, go to integration. There is only one auto resolve integration runtime is there. There is no linked service, there is no pipeline, there is nothing like that because it's a totally brand new Azure Data Factory. So I'm going to go to the integration runtime here and hit new, and then I'm going to go to the Azure SSIS, click next, and here I'm going to provide SSIS IR. That's the name of my SSIS IR. Now it is asking you want to create this SSIS IR, how many cores you need, and what is the memory specification. In my case, I'm going to go with 2 cores and 8 GB. So that's fine, and now I don't have to do anything here. Once I do that, I'm going to hit next or continue. And see here, there are a couple of options here. Create SSIS catalog, SSIS DB hosted by Azure SQL Database Server, manage instance to store. We are not doing that. We are doing this part. Create package store to manage your your packages that deploys into the file system / Azure files / SQL Server DB MSDB hosted by Azure SQL Managed Instance. That's what we are doing. So I'm going to uncheck this box and then click on this box. Now once you click on this box, it's going to ask you, hey, you need to tell where exactly we have to save the packages. So it's called the package store. So now it asks you add package store. I'm going to call this one TB package store. Okay, so you can give any name, or MSDB package store or whatever. So now package store linked service. So we need to create a linked service that will tell where exactly these packages are going to be stored. Now we are going to create a new, and here we can call it LNK MI PKG. Okay, so manage instant package store link service. So now you have options here. One of the options you have here in the type, you have Azure file storage. We have already done demo on this one. We have also done the demo on file system, and this is the one was left, so we are doing demo on that, Azure SQL Managed Instance. So once you click there, it's going to show you something like that. Now you can go to subscription, and then it's going to show you your server name, and then you will see the database names, which are user databases. So you are not interested to store your packages in the user databases. Actually, you can't really do that. So if you will, what you need to do here, you will be actually doing enter manually. So you're going to click here, enter manually, paste your name of the managed instance here, and then you will be typing the MSDB right there. And then you will be providing SQL authentication and using TB user and our password. Okay, now you will test connection. Now what's going to happen, this test is going to be failed, and I will tell you why. So let's take a look on the error, and we can see few things here. So it is saying that your database MSDB user public link service configuration is correct. Make sure SQL database firewall allow the integration runtime to access. So you are gonna get this whole lot error here. So when you go to the document for this type of configuration, there are certain things that you will be understanding. So see right here in the document, if you go further down there, they are telling you if you are going to use the managed instance with the MSDB, you have to provide the path something in this format. So what you are going to do, if you fully qualified name, or what you will do, you will provide this public here, and then you will provide the port right there. So that's what you will be doing it. So we have to write public right after the name, before the DNS, and then 43342. So let's make that change and take a look what happened. Now let's go back here, and right there, so we are going to say public, and then we are going to say -3342. Let's try to connect again and see if it passes. Even we follow the document, and still it failed. So you can see that pretty much the same error. So what we have to do, we have to take a look. So now there is a 3342. Maybe that port is not open for the managed instance. So I'm gonna go back to the my portal, and here I'm gonna go to the managed instance, and here I would like to go to the networking. So once I go to the networking, here you can see that my public endpoint is disabled. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and enable, and once I enable it, it asks me, hey, the option required port 3342 be open for inbound traffic. You need to configure NSG rule for this port separately. So once I do that, then I will be able to use this endpoint. So I need to find NSG, and then I need to add this port. So I'm going to copy this port number, and now let's go to the let's see where we have this NSGs. So we go to the home, and let's cancel this. First of all, let's go to actually our resource group, and in the resource group we should see those NSGs. NSG, and I'm trying to find the NSG for my managed instance. So this looks fine. So I'm going to go right there, and then I have inbound rules here, and I'm going to add that port. So I'm going to add right there, and then I'm going to give this port 3342, and priority I can start with this is 105. Okay, so 105, and I can give the name, this port name right there. So this should work fine, and hit OK. Now this is going to be added 105 right there, and it's added and allowed. So then we should go back and try that again. Our security rule is created. One more thing what we need to do, as we have added the port, we go back to our managed instance, and in the managed instance what we are going to do, we are going to the networking, and here we have to enable. So now I'm going to hit save. That's saved successfully, and that's you can copy the DNS. So it failed again. If we test now, it should be fine, because first we added the inbound port, and that's the 3342. Then we also enable the public endpoint. So now we are able to do that. If you are using a private endpoint, then you don't have to do this all. Okay, so now this looks good, and what we are going to do, we are going to create this. Now once you create it, it's going to go ahead, and now we'll add link services created. We are going to hit add, and you are going to see right there, our package store is ready, and we gave the name TB Package Store, and this is the connecting to the MSDB on the Azure Managed Instance. We are going to hit continue, and then we are going to select the maximum parallel executions. That's I am fine with 2. And now you are going to select a VNet. So remember that we have created a separate subnet for our Azure Data Factory from our main VNet. So I'm going to select tech browser VNet, and in the subnet I'm going to select the subnet that I created. So we should be fine. Validate VNet right there. So validation is completed successfully. So we are good here. Now what we are going to do, we are going to hit continue, and then we are going to create this SSIS IR. Hit create and it should be start working on it. So it is in starting mode right now. It takes some time. I have seen this take 20 minutes, sometime it take 30 minutes. Let's see in this case how much time this guy takes. Our Azure SSIS IR is running right now, and it took around 30 minutes before it started running. And now we can go on SSIS IR, and here we can take a look. The status is running. It's Azure SSIS. It's in East US. The cores, you guys know that I have selected 2 cores, 8 GB RAM, and then it's running one node. We don't have multiple nodes here. And VNET it is used in Timecodes, VNET, and Subnet is then Subnet ADF. That's what we are using. Now then you can do some test connections if you want to do that. That's the name of the host, or the node. And here is your package store. So if I click right there, it should point us to the our managed instance MSDB. See right there. So it's right there. So if you hit test connection, it's just fine. Now what we are going to do, we are going to go back to our VM, and that's where we have created our SSIS package. Right now what we need to do here, we are going to open SSMS and go connect to Azure SSIS IR, right? So it's going to ask you sign in now. So I'm going to use my sign in information. Bye. Okay, now once we are connected here, it's going to ask you, hey, provide your subscription. I'm going to provide the subscription here, and then it's going to ask you, hey, what is the data factory? So we know that Timecodes ADF is the data factory on which our SSIS IR is there. So, and then it's going to ask you SSIS IR name. So we have SSIS IR name, that's the name. So I'm going to hit OK. And now you are going to see it's going to have 2 folders, running packages and stored packages. So right there, TB Package Store, that's the name we have given, and inside that now what you can do, you can provide a username, and then once you provide the username, it's gonna show you all these folders right here, data collector, and you have general, you have maintenance plans and everything right there. Okay, so this is how you are gonna see the packages. This is how you will be connecting to the your package store. Now you will be deploying these packages, right? So what we will do here, let's go to the package store here, and we can go and say create a new folder, and I can call it TB SSIS packages. Okay, now that's folder should be there, and under this folder what we are going to do, we are going to go right click here and import package. Now where our packages are, right click here, go to properties, and see right there, that's where my SSIS packages are. So I can just open right there in the, actually I can just paste it right there, or open a file explorer and go from there. So that's where they are, right? So I'm going to copy this path and go to the right there in the right click, new import package, and they are sitting in the file system. Yes, and I'm going to go to the package path, import packages as. So I'm going to go right there, provide the path, and here is my packages. So one is the data flow, and other one is the our. So let's keep the protection as it is. Let us import. Now let's import the second one. So I imported, remember that the data flow does not have any connection or anything like that. So what we can do, we can test that. So I'm going to go ahead and right click here and say run package. Now, yes, continue. The package completed successfully because this does not have anything. So, but I just want to make sure at least our packages are running. So I'm going to execute this package that should read the data from our source database and write to the destination. So this is our destination table. So once we execute this package, it should run and import or get actually one record from the source and put it here in the DBO customer table in destination database. So this is completing successfully. Now we are all good. The next step what we are going to do, we are going to go to the right here in our Azure Data Factory. We are going to go to the link here, our pipelines, and create a new pipeline. Right, click there, new pipeline, and I'm going to call this one run or execute SSIS package. Okay, now what we are going to do here, we are going to bring a let's bring execute SSIS package right there. So this is the activity you need. Go to settings here, and here you are going to select your Azure SSIS IR. So we know that is the name of SSIS IR is this guy, and then we are going to go to the package location and select the package store. Once you click there, it's going to ask you select the package store, and we know that what is the name of that TB package store. If you have multiple of them, then that's where you're gonna have multiple in the drop down. Now pay attention here, this says folder name / then you have package name. So this is where what we are going to do, we are going to go to the package path. So under this store, if we go to our VM here, see we have this folder, and then our package name is there. So this is how it is going to be, like let's say TB SSIS PACKG package, and then we have PKG, and then underscore data flow. This is one of them. So let's see if I did before the demo, and I was thinking like, oh, each package is a .dtsx, right? So I went there and I took this as it is the name, but I did not pay attention. Here it says package name. So I was thinking like, oh, extension has to be provided as well. So I provided that and then I executed, but every time it failed. So let's test that again and let's see if it fails or it completes. Okay, so this failed. Let's go to the error and take a look. It's package execution failed, more details. So click right there and go to the middle arrow right here, output. And that's where it is given us this error saying fail to retrieve resource from master. So yeah, we have the package right there. We know that, and it is saying, hey, you don't have that package, does not exist. So see right there, it says the package does not exist. That's not true. But the only thing what I noticed, that's a mistake I was making. So I was putting the extension of a package here. So I removed that extension, and now let's execute the package again. It took me almost 20 to 30 minutes and figure out like, okay, I do not need to provide the extension. Most of the time where we provide the package, we always say .dtx with it. But here, I don't know why they don't have it. Or if somebody provided, it should complete anyways. But anyways, now the package is completed successfully. We can go right there, and it's just fine. Now let's bring the other package name, and then we are going to try that. The other package name is the PKG, and then load source. Okay, so this package, once it will run, it's going to load the data to our destination. As of now, I'm going to go ahead and delete the data from destination. So there is no record, right? So as of now, you can see there is no record. And once we execute this package from the our data factory pipeline, it should execute and load one record to our destination table. So now it is running. It is going to read the data from the source database. There is a customer table that I showed you in the SSIS package, and it's going to run and load the data to the destination, and that's where we have a customer table as well. So let's go right there and execute now, and you can see that the data has been loaded from the source. So that's great. Our SSIS package is working. So one more thing, I was just curious as I connected to the Azure SSIS IR, and see, this is in the link service we have provided MSDB. Does this like really store the packages in the MSDB in this server or not? So there is a command that we can use to verify. Let me see if I can find it. So here what we will be use, we are going to go to new query, and you say use MSDB, and here I'm going to say select star from dbo.ssis packages. See right there. So if I execute this one, let's see what it does. So see right there, the packages are stored in the MSDB, and they are stored right here in the last two entries you can see right there. So even once you are you're not connecting here, say integration runtime, integration services, and connecting to MSDB, you are connecting by using Azure SSIS IR here. But still, as the link service is pointing to MSDB, once you save the package here, they will be saved in the MSDB, and you can see right there. Okay, so let's explore some other options here. So if we have a db.ssis, so if we go to logs here, let's see if there is any login information is saved. So we did not enable any login or anything, so we don't have that. But you can still probably use all these system tables and everything in the MSDB to take a look on the SSIS packages, their execution logs and everything. So this video was pretty long, and I understand that, but let's review it quickly. And what we have learned here, we did a lot of things. We created VNets, subnets, created managed instance, created SSIS IR, and then deploy the packages by using Visual Studio and connecting to the SSMS, and we use SSIS or SSIS IR in the managed SSMS to connect and deploy our packages. So I will go ahead and put these all the steps, and here one step was missing. Create the Azure Data Factory, so you can put that as well. So I'm going to call it 2A, something like that. Okay, create Azure Data Factory. Okay, so Tech Brothers ADF. So this is it of this tutorial. Go ahead, subscribe my channel if you guys like my effort. It's good to subscribe, and it feels good because eventually we're gonna get 200,000 and subscribers, and that will be great. So thank you, and I will see you guys in the next video.